some people that were on the right, their complaint was that there's cancel culture. They're canceling me. I can't say a lot of the things I want to say. And my response to them was, hey, man, I think that you're just caught up in the old days. Like maybe you're just lazy. You don't want to write new stuff, because the fact is we evolve as a society. So even my kids now who are teenagers, I would say certain things and they would tell me, hey, that's outdated. You can't use that term. You shouldn't use that term. And rather than turning around and being like, now you guys are, back in my day, you could make, I just would think, okay, if I want to be extinct in the comedy world, I'll just stick to the words I used to use and the jokes I used to do. But if I want to evolve, I have to listen to these people and evolve. And so we have continued to evolve, and I think it was laziness. And then the interesting thing is now that they are canceling comedians for saying what they're saying, it's come full circle, and they're actually canceling comedians for I mean, the reason Colbert got canceled because he had the balls to make fun of his own network for giving a bribe to Trump because they wanted that deal to go through. Yeah. And then the excuse of, oh, yeah, you weren't making enough money. Well, the fact is, no TV show or network is making enough money. So if that's what we're going to do, let's cancel all the shows.
Right.
And unfortunately, he was the fall guy on this.
Yeah. Where's the future going with comedy? You mentioned Colbert. Are we headed toward non-corporate comedy? Well, by that I mean off cable. You gotta find it streaming. What is it too sensitive for the big cable networks to touch anymore?
I would say, listen, when you go to live clubs, you're going to see a lot of people who are very funny, who you don't even know about. And they are talking politics. They're saying whatever they want. And then even on like TikTok and some of these other apps, there are young comics who do great political material. I'll give you a few names. Mish Patel. There is Mo Amer. There is
Houston guy. Mo Amer.
Mo is great. There's Sammy Obeid. There's I mean, you just when you flick through, you'll see some people doing some great comedy, and sometimes I discover people, who that's it. Like if you go on there and you watch a few of these guys, obviously starts feeding you things like that. So there's a lot of people out there doing some great political comedy. And you were saying, the comedians on the right. The unfortunate thing about the comedians on the right is I've seen some of those guys, try to be funny, but it comes across as kind of, bullying or not as smart. Not to say that people on the left are smarter than the people on the right.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, you're just trying to now deny or bully other communities. Like one of the most important things to comedy is to be self-deprecating. So if I go up on stage and make fun of myself, now if I do jokes about other people in the room, I go, hey, we're all laughing. I'm not here to bully any community. Whereas I've seen guys on the right, they're not self-deprecating. They just get out there and they go, hey, what about Nancy Pelosi? And what about whatever, whatever, and Bernie Sanders and all that stuff. It's just not funny.
No, I agree. I had, we all have our internal filters. I turned somebody on Netflix. It's out recently. And I was, 20, 30 minutes in and I was like, that's enough for me. It's all attack. It's all attack. It's borderline racist and
exactly.
And misogynist.
Listen, even people that you might not expect to have political funny material because they're not political. Bill Burr had a great special called The Drop Dead Years, which was great because it was like, as you get older, men just start dropping dead. And he had some great political material in there. Yeah. And I go, wow, I didn't expect Bill to have that, but he did. And so as long as it's funny, I'm on board. Like he did a joke years ago, I think, where it was kind of a joke that started with Michelle Obama and then made a turn. And I'm a big fan of Michelle Obama. So when he first started, I was like, kind of holding myself back, going like, where's he going with this? And the way he brought it around, I go, oh my God, that was brilliant. So you see that a lot more. from
it takes
comedians.
like you said, it takes a brain and creativity to do it right. And I think we're seeing less of that in some circumstances. And then it's a sad state of affairs when, whether it's your favorite musician or comedian, that we're now so polarized and politicized that if somebody shows up, that we can't look at pure talent anymore. So for example, people blew an absolute gasket, and I was shocked. One of the most talented singers out there in terms of just power of voice, I'm talking about musicianship, is probably Carrie Underwood, who showed up at the inauguration and sang the national anthem.
Yeah.
People just, their heads exploded. And I also thought, well, that's an interesting career move, but she's country. Country. She knows her audience. She's a very smart businesswoman. And that was her decision. It's the national anthem. Oh, okay. And then, more recently, Nate Bargatze, who I think is talented. He shows up at the cage fight at the White House, and people are like, "Oh my God!" I'm not weighing in on this so much as saying I'm saddened by this is where we are. That every move you make has to be. You have to consider whether I've pissed off half of the audience or not. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, listen, I go through that all the time. Like, I feel like social media, especially, is very divided. So if you say one thing, they'll criticize you. If you say another thing, if you don't say anything, they'll criticize you. I mean, so that's why whenever I do social media, I just go, here's my point of view, and that's what it is. And then I let them argue with each other. I try not to get involved. And then the funny thing is, then you'll get like a text from your friend going like, "I'm so sorry what they're saying about you." And I'm like, "Who's saying what? I'm trying to ignore this." So yeah, this happens on all sides. I mean, how much has Bruce Springsteen, how much flack has he gotten for the stand he takes? And the truth is, Frank, I'd be lying if I didn't say it's heartbreaking when you see someone you are a fan of, kind of supporting this guy, because you go, what are you doing? But to your point, I mean, listen, if your fan base is that fan base, then,
I mean, if you want to limit yourself that way, hey, go for it. I don't know if Nate Bargatze was even thinking that this is screwing me over, but I don't know. Bruce Springsteen, we all love to be at the place in our careers where you just, you don't give a shit anymore about because Bruce, I'm a big Bruce fan. Bruce sold his catalog for what, $900 million to Sony. So he's not sitting there going, and I don't think he ever did, but he's not sitting there going, "Oh, I might upset some people if I have a resistance tour of some kind."
It's funny because I have a friend of mine who was saying, "Hey, you should not do politics." I go, "Well, then, what am I doing over here? Like, I want to talk about it. I want to I go, listen, I can't help myself. And even if I lose some members of my audience, I can't. And by the way, I probably don't want those people.
Right.
Now I'm, they're getting offended. I'm being a little careful what I say. Listen, I want to say what I want to say. I think that once you start appealing to everybody, you're just a jukebox. You're taking requests. You're a DJ, whatever you want. You're a DJ at a wedding, by the way. Right. So I think like as a matter of fact, I said, if you're getting criticized, that's a good thing, because that means that you've gone beyond your audience, and now you got other people that didn't know you. Now they know you.
That's right.
And then we were talking about like right and left comedy. A little while ago, I remember somebody was trying to do a daily show from the left. I'm sorry, from the right. Daily show from the right. And they wanted me to audition for it. And they sent me one of the sketches that they'd written. And Frank, it was just like you said, it was just like offensive. So the sketch they had was that that they're trying to rebuild the Twin Towers. And they're having 3 architects come in to pitch ideas. And there's one guy, there's another guy, then there's a Middle Easterner. And he comes in and says, "Yeah, I think we build a tall building and we put a target on it." And they go, "Why would you put a target on it?" Because I go, "Because it's appealing. It's like, it says, come here, come here." And I go, this is just a racist sketch. What are you guys doing? And that was kind of the flavor of the show. Thank God it didn't do much. But again, it's like, you can't just because it's, you got to be funny. You got to be funny.
At the end of the day, if the marketplace will take care of itself, and if you're not funny, you're not selling tickets. That's the bottom line.